Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a follow-up to my previous video on Amanda Ensing's boyfriend. I wanted to get this out before the series I've been working on so that there isn't a huge time gap between this video and the one I uploaded previously on the subject. I'll leave the link to part 1 in the description box below, which I highly suggest watching prior to this, as this video focuses mainly on Raphael and Amanda's response to same. In addition, there appears to be some tea that I completely glossed over, which happens to contradict Amanda's response, so let's get into it. So in part 1, I showed Raphael's deleted Instagram stories wherein he mocks police officers and implies threats of violence on his neighbor. Here's his response to my video.
Yo, what's up everyone? I just want to clarify a few things that I saw in the video today on the drama channel. So first of all, the video obviously was, I was speaking Portuguese, but the translation that she did was pretty accurate, I would say. Everything that she translated was almost perfect. 99% was. She just made one mistake on that video when she said that I talked about black people in the streets. That was the only thing that was wrong, and she called me racist, which is not true. I mean, I used a word in Portuguese that it can mean people of color, but in that context that I used, it just means people in the street in general. So that doesn't make me a racist. So in fact, I have somebody in my family that is black. So you can call me anything in your video, disgusting, douchebag, it's fine. I may even agree, but don't call me racist, because that's not how I am. That's not who I am. So since I got the racist thing out of the way, the whole police officer thing, yeah, everything she said on the video is accurate. I said all those things. I said that, and there's a reason why I said that, but obviously it doesn't justify, but there's a reason behind the whole thing. So I wasn't driving the car when we got pulled over. Amanda was driving the car. It was a white police officer in a bike, and the way he approached us, he was super mean to Amanda. He was kind of arrogant. I did not like his tone. Asking personal questions, well, you know, what does she do and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's none of your fucking business, bro. You know, just give the ticket and get out. That's it. So he was very mean, and I said all those things, which is fucked up because Amanda's brother is a police officer, and he saw the... And he called Amanda right away, and he told her that that's fucked up of me. I shouldn't have said that. And Amanda came at me really mad, and she made me delete the video, and I took down the video and said, I'm sorry. I mean, at that time, I didn't think about her brother. I didn't think of anything. I was just... Now, in terms of my neighbors, so I wish I could go in depth and see everything that's going on, but legally I can't really say much because we decided to escalate this. Like I said, we sent them a letter of harassment, but those people have been harassing us for 10 months. Since day one we moved in, oh, it's just the two of you. Why do you need all these rooms? And then the guy, oh, so what's your last name? What's the name of your listing agent? What is this? What's that? Bro, I don't owe you anything. Don't ask me questions. Don't talk to me. Don't engage to us. Stay in your lane, and we stay in our lane. She complained about my cameras that I had installed in the house. She complained about the poor guy that comes clean my yard. She complains about every fucking thing. And I'm sick of it, you know? We want to live. We don't want to bother anybody. We don't throw parties. Amanda's all... But again, it doesn't justify the fact that I got those letters and I wanted to go to shooting range and shoot them. It was bad. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not breaking the law. I didn't do anything wrong. Every time before I do... Like I said, I can't go into much depth about my neighbors, but they are running an illegal business in there, and I know, and my lawyer knows, and I'm going to do everything in my power to get that shut down, and I don't want them engaging with us. That's it, you know? But, you know, I'm super chill, but there are lines that cannot be crossed. So, just the other day I was standing, and this locksmith came to look at the door because the lock wasn't working properly. And I was standing and I let Amanda handle it. So she went there, talked to the guy, and the guy was being super mean to her and treating her like shit. And she shoot me a text message, hey, can you please come here? So I was on my Speedo. I just got to put a towel on, and I went there to talk to the guy. And I told him, I said, bro, we don't know anything about locks. That's your fucking job. Now, you're not going to come to my house and treat my girlfriend like a dumbass just because we don't know how to use the lock. So guess what? Get the fuck out of my house. You're not going to talk to us like that. Yeah, I might have anger problems, but it's like I try to stay on my lane. I do my own thing. I chill. But the moment somebody comes in and disrespects her or disrespects me or try to do something, I will blow off. So to sum up this video, whatever I said to that police officer was very bad, was not human, was very immature of me. But I'm not a racist person. I have a lot of black friends and I love them. And ever put them down or talk shit about them. Amanda even jokes with me because everywhere we go and there's a black person, whatever we go, we just get along so well. And I don't know why, they're just so cool with me. And she feels like you get along with them. Or even when we go to parties, she sees me like hanging out with them, because they got personality. They don't give a fuck. They will smoke a blunt in the club. They will do this. They will dance funny because they give no fuck, and that's how I like. So that's why I hang out.
Okay, so the story cuts off there, but with respect to the racism issue, when I had his initial Instagram lives translated, my understanding is that there was a discrepancy in dialect between Portuguese and Brazilian Portuguese, and the way it was translated in my original video made it seem as though Raphael was referring to people as black people when he was simply using a slang word for people. Once that was brought to my attention, I privated my video, corrected the mistake, redid my thumbnail, and put the video back up because I didn't want to have inaccurate information in my video for people to label him racist when I knew the mistake was on my end. I lost a lot of views on the video, but it was the right thing to do and I apologize for my error. However, I didn't actually call him racist as he says in his response to my video, and while we're on the topic of racism, I just want to point out that simply having a black family member and or black friends does not mean you are automatically exempt from being racist. I found it very interesting how he used having a black family member as his defense as to why he isn't racist, yet he goes on to stereotype black people later on in his response.
I'm not a racist person. I have a lot of black friends and I love them. And ever put them down or talk shit about them. Amanda even jokes with me because everywhere we go and there's a black person, whatever we go, we just get along so well. And I don't know why, they're just so cool with me. And she feels like you get along with them. Or even when we go to parties, she sees me like hanging out with them, because they got personality. They don't give a fuck. They will smoke a blunt in the club. They will do this. They will dance funny because they give no fuck, and that's how I like. So that's why I hang out.
As for the blatant disrespect for police officers, first of all, I didn't even know that Amanda's brother is a police officer, but let me tell you that if an officer inquires as to what Amanda's occupation is, it absolutely is his or her business. They are entitled to ask personal questions and it doesn't matter what their tone is in doing so. You have respect for law enforcement, period. You do not get to tell an officer to, quote, give the ticket and get out, end quote.
Just give the ticket and get out. That's it.
Also, why is it important for you to refer to the officer as a, quote, white police officer, end quote?
It was a white police officer in a bike.
Now, going back to my previous video where he admits to being ticketed 7 times for not having license plates on his vehicle, or Amanda's vehicle, I should say. Just how many tickets is it going to take for him to finally understand that driving without plates is illegal? I don't understand what his argument was there. It's illegal, sir, much like not paying taxes. Now, let me just insert a trigger warning here. I'll be referring to weapons and associated paraphernalia, so if that makes you uncomfortable, please click off now. Moving on to the neighbors. Raphael does admit that taking the letters to a shooting range, which by the way, appear to be written by a child, is bad, but in the same breath says that what he's doing isn't illegal and that he isn't doing anything wrong, so I'm confused.
But again, it doesn't justify the fact that I got those letters and I wanted to go to shooting range and shoot them. It was bad, but at the end of the day, I'm not breaking the law. I didn't do anything wrong.
Whether something is illegal or not appears to be irrelevant to him anyway, so I'm not entirely sure why he cites the law as a boundary with respect to his actions. Moving on, to recap a bit, in my previous video, not only does he wave a gun around indicating that he intends on using the notes/paper airplanes that his neighbor sent over the fence as target practice at the shooting range and throwing them back over to his neighbor complete with bullet holes, but he takes it a step further and places a bullet on top of the note and posts it to his Instagram story. I take this as an implied threat towards the neighbor, and I find it appalling for him to be so reckless with respect to his usage of a firearm. Now, I did censor the bullet and the gun in my previous video because I felt uneasy about showing same on my channel. However, I don't think people realized that what was censored on the note was a bullet, so I just wanted to clarify. Raphael goes on to say that his neighbors are running an illegal business out of their house as if he's the epitome of a law-abiding citizen. The dude openly admits to tax evasion yet wants to police others when it suits his narrative to do so. That is literally the most idiotic thing I've ever heard. Now, he and Amanda could very well be in litigation with their neighbor, but I couldn't help but be reminded of this.
And if someone thinks that I've taken something from them, they are more than welcome to reach out to my legal team with their copyright or trademark paperwork. And for those of you who are suddenly attorneys, my legal team will be waiting.
In case you guys are unaware, that clip was part of a video Amanda put up on her channel in response to accusations of theft with respect to the intellectual property of Kelsey Kinsman, the CEO of Skullhouse Designs. In a nutshell, Amanda came out with merch essentially ripping off original artwork created by Kelsey Kinsman. Amanda, of course, denied the allegations of plagiarism and went on to post this video wherein she advised Kelsey that her legal team was waiting for any copyright or trademark paperwork. Amanda ended up deleting the video after the tremendous amount of backlash she received, only to replace it with a Snapchat rant wherein she blames a member of her team for copying the design. Any sort of criticism towards her is classified as hate, and her go-to response is always,
And for those of you who are commenting these nasty things, I'm not mad at you. I'll pray for you and pray that the bitterness and hate can leave your heart.
Anyway, let's move on to Amanda's response to my video.
Hey guys, I just saw the video that went up and I wanted to talk to you guys, sit down and chat, clear some things up. I really don't know where to start, so I'm just gonna wing it and be honest with you guys and be raw like I usually am, because I don't want my subscribers and those of you who follow me to think I'm someone that I'm not. So I just want to talk about everything that happened and clarify anything. The things that Raphael said were not okay. They weren't appropriate. I don't agree with them. And I don't want you guys to think that that's something that I'm okay with or that I agree with. Like, I love him, but I also know that it's not okay and they're not acceptable. And these are things that him and I have talked about. And I know he feels bad for it, but I do want to apologize to you guys, because I never want you guys to think that that's the type of person that I am, and that his actions represent my character and represent who I am, because they don't. I'm not that person. And also, he's not that person, and I know that it makes him look like it puts him in a negative light, and that sucks because I see who he is, and all you guys see are like a couple videos. Our relationship isn't perfect. We aren't perfect as people. We fight, we argue, we disagree on a lot of things. Him and I are two completely different people trying to have one relationship. Any relationship is hard. When you bring two people together, it's difficult because you have different views, you have different ideas, people change. It's difficult. And the video is talking about me getting pulled over. If you guys remember, I snapped about that and I was really upset. Like, that cop made me cry and I was really upset about it. I came on here and I just said, like, hey, I got pulled over. The cop was not in a good mood and I was upset, right? I didn't know that he posted those videos until after they were posted, and they were in Portuguese, and I don't speak Portuguese. And my brother found out. My brother is a police officer. Like, I respect cops so much. And whenever we found out, Raphael and I got in a huge argument about it. I wasn't okay with it. My brother wasn't okay with it. And it was a huge thing. And we moved forward. We worked on it. And they were not okay. And he took those videos down that day. Those videos were only up for a short amount of time. Raphael is always there to stand up for me when someone makes me upset or is mean to me, and he always defends me, and it's not always the best way that he defends me, and I don't always agree with it, and he knows that because he tends to get a little bit heated and a little bit upset, and he can go off, and I'm not okay with that. I don't agree with that, and that's stuff that he has to work on, and it doesn't justify what he did. Nothing justifies what he said. Trust me, I agree. But he's a good person, and it sucks that it only shows those videos and that's all you guys are getting to see. Like, I get how I would react if I saw those videos, so I understand, but it's not okay, and we're working on it. And when it comes to the neighbor stuff, I'm not going to go into it, but these people have been harassing us for 10 months, and I just ignore them, and they yell at me, and they say stuff to us all the time. They bang on the wall. It's super annoying. I've actually filed a letter for them for harassment because they will not leave us alone. Like, they come and bother anyone who's over at the house. They come and talk to the garden crew. It's a whole thing, and it's super frustrating, and I've just gone the route of just ignoring them and letting my landlord or whoever deal with them. It was nothing to do with kids asking us to turn down music. Our music wasn't even loud, and I wasn't even playing bad music. But I've literally played music at my house 2 times, and if I have a little bit of music at the pool, like, why can't I have music at the pool? But they've been harassing us, and it's a lot of details I can't go into, so that should pretty much wrap up that whole situation. You guys had to see that was. But as far as, like, firearms go, firearms are very serious. Guns are very serious. We have our license. We don't take them lightly, so he shouldn't have showed it like that, and I'm so sorry. You guys had to see that was not okay, and it wasn't cool. I would never show it like that. It's not something to joke about. It's not something to talk about when you're upset, and it's definitely not something you should talk about out of emotion, which again is something that he has to work on, is speaking out of emotion. And I can't apologize for him for that, because that's something that he has to deal with, but it's not cool. I know people will believe what they want to believe, but I really hope from the bottom of my heart that you guys don't think that someone else's actions or their words represent me or things that I believe in or things that I think, because that's just not true. If you follow me, you know me, and I've showed you guys my heart so many times, and I will always make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I know I put so much of my life out there to be judged, and I'm constantly judged, from makeup to fashion to things I say. Like, I get it, but his actions and words don't reflect me, and I love him, but that's not what I believe in, and there are things that I'm not okay with, and he knows that, and we will work on that together. I know that those videos don't make me look good, and they make me look bad because I'm dating him. I understand. Like, trust me, I get it, but I hope that you guys won't judge me based on my relationship and someone else's actions. I'm not okay with them. We've talked about them. Him and I will continue to talk about them. And our relationship is something that I deal with off camera. I like to keep my platform beauty, fashion, lifestyle. But I don't want you to think that's the kind of person I am, or even the type of person that he is, because he's not that person. Like, I always see the best in people, and I didn't fall in love with that person. And again, it's sad that that's the light he's being portrayed in, because those were his actions, but that's not who he is as a person. And I hope that you guys will be able to see that. And I'm really sorry. I'm upset about it. Also, the comments like, oh, you should leave him, you should dump him, those are inappropriate. They're not cool. That's not how relationships work. It's not like someone makes a mistake, you're like, bye. Like, that's not how it works. People make mistakes. I make mistakes. No one's perfect. Relationships take work. So when it comes to relationships, I make all those decisions on my own for me in my relationship. I would never let someone else make that decision for me. So those comments are not cool. I really just wanted to say I'm sorry, and I apologize. And I apologize for me. I apologize for him. I know I didn't do anything, but he's my boyfriend, and I'm just sorry that you guys were exposed to that, because we're dating, so anything he does reflects on me. And even though that's not who I am as a person, I know that a lot of people look at it that way. So I just wanted to say that I'm sorry, and I really love you guys, and I hope you guys know that that's not me, and it's not him. And people make mistakes, and it's hard, and life is hard, and I hope that you will forgive him and forgive me, and I love you guys.
Amanda also went on to tweet that she's not okay with Raphael's actions and that they don't reflect on her, but she was a party to his actions. Here's where I was off my game. However, I'm kind of happy it worked out this way, because it just goes to show how absolutely full of shit she is. So in my previous video, I cut footage out of Raphael's story because it showed a woman shooting off a gun at the range, and as I said earlier, I just felt uneasy showing same on my channel. However, it is necessary to do so, being that I believe the footage reveals that Amanda co-signs Raphael's behavior. Again, you guys, if you're uncomfortable with firearms, please click off now. This is presumably Amanda shooting at the range with Raphael. Look what's in clear view right beside her, the paper airplane note from the neighbor, which Raphael took there with the intent to shoot it up and return back. She knew what was going on, she cannot say she didn't. Raphael even said in my previous video that he put the note up to shoot at, but the attendant at the range flashed a light on him and told him he wasn't allowed to, so where was Amanda then? Is she gonna say she didn't know? Because I find that very hard to believe. In her response/apology, she made no mention of the fact that she was by Raphael's side when he intended to carry out his intimidation tactic on the neighbor. Being that she's always got an excuse for everything, I'd like to hear how she's gonna get out of this one. So you guys, now that it's been revealed that Amanda was very much an accomplice to Raphael's reckless behavior, how do you feel about her so-called apology now? Let me know below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at HereForTheT2, and I'll talk to you again soon in my next video. Bye!